Unnumbered level, TH3SH4DYGR3Y. Survival difficulty. Undetermined mysterious properties. Unknown information. Undocumented entities. Description, missing alt text. The first picture ever taken of level 00, TH3SH4DYGR3Y is a set of incredibly unstable environments that the late Headfield researcher Eden G. has designated as one cluster of a level. Information regarding the level is very limited due to the fact that every section of this level has various factors that make it lethal to traverse, including hostile entities, dangerously high temperatures, aggressive human groups, and several other factors that are unlike anything the MEG has ever encountered before. It is strongly encouraged that one does not try to enter TH3SH4DYGR3Y by any means necessary. A common factor between the areas of TH3SH4DYGR3Y is that each section is notably devoid of color, including on objects that enter the level. For the duration of one's time in the level, every object that a wanderer encounters will be completely grayscale. This phenomenon has posed several difficulties with things such as distinguishing between different colors of almond water, identifying safe and edible foods when foraging on the outside portions of the level, and being able to identify various electronic components on official MEG devices that require repair when damaged during exploration. This consistent factor has, however, helped the MEG both identify the different parts of the level and verify that they have indeed not exited the level but entered a new layer of it. This grayscale phenomenon is also the reason that the research team has decided to designate this level as one singular cluster of a level rather than several separate levels. In addition, due to the lack of a clear main area that connects all of these levels, it is impossible to designate them as subsections of one greater level. As of yet, the MEG has discovered 8 different areas that are a part of TH3SH4DYGR3Y. In order to conveniently distinguish these areas and avoid confusion with the standard numbering system the MEG uses for its regular levels, each layer of TH3SH4DYGR3Y will be referred to as level 00, 11, and so forth. Due to the fact that traversing between these layers is incredibly difficult and usually requires some kind of unique method, technique, or skill, the MEG is still working to discover if more layers exist beyond the 8 that have currently been discovered. This file is considered a living document as a result of the immense mystery surrounding this level and will be regularly updated if and when more areas and information are revealed. Due to the incredible potential that various resources, technologies, and general information regarding backrooms phenomena that this level provides, the MEG has poured countless time, resources, and lives into documenting and better understanding this unique level. Unfortunately, a method of escape has not yet been established or confirmed, meaning that all operatives sent into the level do so with the knowledge that they will not return once they enter. Several sacrifices have been made by valuable research teams in order to hopefully reach a point where the level is understood and of more practical use to the group as a whole. What is currently known about each individual section will be documented below, but the MEG graciously acknowledges that said information would not be possible without these aforementioned sacrifices. Level 00 Level 00 is the first and most environmentally stable section of TH3SH4DYGR3Y. It was for LSO the first layer discovered and the F1R5T layer that a Wanderer 3NT3R5WH3N5UCC355 fully. Exit, AOYAFIA RGS 015 only section of TH3SH4DYGR3Y that one can traverse without any severe or immediate danger, contingent upon the fact that one is able to escape it before night. The area itself takes the appearance of a dense, thick jungle that is of similar topography to the Amazon rainforest, of course also having the signature grayscale phenomenon altering it. Despite the fact that it is the most stable in comparison to the rest of the sections, it is far from stable or secure. It is incredibly common to find trees clipped into each other, objects that appear blurry when looked at for too long, or dead animal carcasses with horrifying mutations, deformities, or injuries. It is strongly advised that one does not touch, interact with, or even look at these anomalies for too long, as doing so can have unprecedented and likely detrimental consequences that the MEG cannot even begin to imagine. Several research missions have been prematurely ended due to these objects, and avoiding them at all costs is the safest bet. Unlike a place like Level 0, every wanderer who enters TH3SH4DYGR3Y will find themselves in an old, weathered shack with significant rot covering the wood that makes it up. This shack is unique and believed to be the only thing in Level 00 that wouldn't occur naturally in an outdoor area in the front rooms. The windows of the shack appear to have been bashed in, along with the door seemingly having been ripped off of the hinges. The only other notable quality of the shack is a standard 12-hour clock hung on the wall that is crucial for one's survival. Level 00 has a documented day-night cycle. However, it is extremely different from the normal 24-hour cycle within the front rooms. Instead of slowly fading into day/night, the sky instantly changes from day to night, or vice versa, without any warning every 12 hours. The clock serves as the only warning for this sudden change, which occurs each time it hits 12. The MEG keeps an analog clock in base beta that is perfectly timed to the one in Level 00 in order to ensure that research teams who enter the level do not enter during nighttime, rather shortly after the transition to day, in order to ensure the highest chance of survival and highest potential for effective research. During the day, there are no entities, but at night the level becomes lethal. Any natural light that was previously in the level will immediately disappear, and the level will become pitch black to the point where one can't even see their hand in front of their face. Entities, who likely have adapted night vision, will appear and hunt down any humans in the level. The entities in question are unknown due to the night state of Level 00 being totally devoid of any light. Similarly to Level 6, attempting to shine a flashlight in the level is pointless, as all light in the level is completely snuffed out by the darkness. Due to this, the apparent entities in the level are undocumented due to all researchers being killed within minutes after night begun. It is also unknown where exactly these entities come from, as no live creatures have ever been encountered in Level 00 during the daytime. Attempting to set up cameras to document the transition from night to day has also proven to be a fruitless endeavor, as they have all been destroyed within minutes by the apparent entities. During the day, one can find almond water lakes, rivers, and even waterfalls. However, at night the almond water suddenly turns into liquid pain until daytime, when it becomes almond water again. This was unfortunately discovered during a desperate attempt to hide from the entities beneath a waterfall after being caught by surprise during the transition to night. Even bottling it up and take it away from the source, it will still become liquid pain. Shockingly, this has even occurred in other layers of TH3SH4DYGR3Y when being bottled up and taken for extra resources, perfectly aligning with the timing reflected on the clock in the shack. Due to this, it is not recommended you drink any almond water in this level, and it is strongly advised that one does not try to save any of it to consume in other areas. Level 00 is considered completely safe during day due to the apparent lack of life or lethal environmental factors. Of course, the level becomes a dead zone during night, and nobody has to date been able to escape or survive during nighttime. The MEG has found that digging a hole that is 10 meters deep will allow one to enter the next layer, Level 11. This was discovered during an attempt to build an underground shelter that shielded the research team during the night and is the only known way to enter the next layer. Level 22 missing all text. The snowy woods of Level 22. Level 22 is a large, thick forest covered in snow. Despite the snow, the natural environment of the level boasts incredibly hot temperatures of 100°F, 38°C, that have killed several wanderers due to heat stroke, sunburn, sun poisoning, and other dangerous effects posed by hot climates. The snow does not feel cold and does not melt, and has baffled scientists and researchers in the MEG. Surviving on this level is possible with minimal clothing, regular use of sunscreen, and regular hydration, though quite uncomfortable of an experience. The grayscale phenomenon makes sunburns incredibly difficult to identify before they escalate to more severe and extreme damage, meaning that one should be extra aware of their precautions and exposed body parts to ensure this is avoided. Aside from the sweltering heat, this layer is actually one of the safest discovered parts of TH3SH4DYGR3Y due to the lack of hostile entities or severe reality instability. The environment's instability is similar to Level 00, though slightly more frequent. The same precautions are of course recommended. The immense snow can create difficulties with traveling, as sometimes large piles of snow can fall from the branches high up and smother wanderers to death. Avalanches are also a possibility if the topography is heavily disturbed by a large group. A small outpost has been established on level 22 through the usage of the wood that makes up the trees. This outpost exists to house wanderers who are able to survive level 00 and level 11 until the MEG is able to discover a method of escape from TH3SH4DYGR3Y, especially since this layer is the only safe and relatively secure place in TH3SH4DYGR3Y. This layer is also the most explored and well mapped as a result, but the actual environment of the level consists of little more than just dense forest and lacks any large, open areas. This area appears to have nothing else special about it other than a rare entity known as fallen angels. Fallen angels appear to be humans with large black wings and blue robes. They often are seen with mortal injuries such as bullet wounds, stab wounds, and missing body parts such as arms, legs, and even heads. Aside from this, they have relatively human features. They claim to have faded, as they put it, and have said that they were once humans. The entities refuse to elaborate on their origins in detail and typically become incredibly uncomfortable and nervous when asked about it. They are docile and will talk to you kindly if you start a conversation with them. The only time they will attack is if you mention anything about level 71, claiming that they are taking revenge on the one who did this to them. An interview was conducted with one, attached below. This interview was conducted when virtually nothing was known about these entities, and the actions of the operative are strongly discouraged with consideration of modern knowledge regarding their discomfort around their origins, deaths, and level 71. Interview with a fallen angel of level 22. Getting to level 33 is very easy. Ask one of the fallen angels, and they will thrust you through the ground straight into level 33. It's unknown how they are able to do this, as they refuse to explain. Many wanderers don't make it any deeper than this, due to the extreme heat, rarity of fallen angel entities, and the relative safety of Tutu. It is advised that one stays here and lives in the outpost as well, as what lies in the rest of the discovered layers is significantly worse and near guaranteed suicide. Level 33 missing alt text. A bird's eye view of level 33. Grandfather clocks and water speeders can be seen floating in the water. Level 33 is one of the strangest subsections within TH3SH4DYGR3Y. Level 33 is an infinite ocean that is filled with clocks floating around in it which seem to have incredibly powerful time-altering abilities. The ocean itself is quite toxic, and is made of distilled water mixed with mercury and gasoline according to examinations of samples. The clocks float around the ocean, seemingly unaffected by the water. Some islands have been discovered throughout the oceans, but most of them are occupied by groups of hostile individuals. These islands can also consist of the instability present in all former layers. The MEG has attempted to explore beneath the water with underwater drones, but currently haven't found anything you wouldn't find in a normal frontroom's ocean, minus natural life such as coral or fish. This does not disprove possible animal or entity life, but due to the high levels of oil and mercury, it is very unlikely. So far, the MEG has found 4 types of clocks floating around: analog clocks, digital clocks, watches, and grandfather clocks, each with different abilities. Notably, these clocks also are perfectly aligned to the second with the clock in level 00 and do not require any external power source such as a battery or electricity to function. Analog clocks are the safest clocks. Touching one has a chance to send you back to level 22. If it doesn't lead to level 22, it will lead to level 44. This is also the only known way to enter 44. Analog clocks are quite rare, and many of them have been hoarded by the people present in the layer. Digital clocks are very dangerous, but also quite rare. Picking one up will immediately teleport you to a mysterious black void without exception. It could be used as a fast escape from the level, but the mysterious properties of the void may be worse than staying on level 22 or 33 for a while. No exploration has been done of this void yet, as it is too dangerous and risky. Early attempts to do so resulted in immediate loss of contact from the operatives within a matter of seconds. It is recommended to avoid these digital clocks due to the immense lack of knowledge surrounding this void. Watches are actually used as weapons from native groups within the level. Picking one up and tying it to your wrist makes you considered to be armed and dangerous. If you point the watch towards any living being and turn the hands forward, it will time travel the victim to the day of their death, which for many is still within TH3SH4DYGR3Y. This isn't instant death in all cases, as if it's something like dying to an entity. it's possible to avoid it and change your fate. However, many people end up dying to watches, which makes them incredibly dangerous. Many desperate wanderers have attempted to use the watch on themselves in hopes that they will travel to a time when escape from TH3SH4DYGR3Y has been discovered, but so far, this has been fruitless and resulted in nothing but death. Grandfather clocks are the largest clocks, and are far too heavy to pick up, even with equipment like a fishing net. Most people who use grandfather clocks throw the victim onto them while they float in the water. Throwing someone on a grandfather clock either causes the victim to painfully turn back into an infant, or age rapidly into an extremely elderly person. The victims usually end up drowning, since neither outcome results in the person still being able to swim. This is irreversible, as attempting to change them back with the grandfather clocks once more does not work. This area is extremely difficult to set up an outpost on due to the many native communities who conduct very frequent watch attacks on each other. Watch wars are common occurrences within the level, which often result in extreme chaos and high death tolls. The groups will typically try to capture people as hostages and use the clocks in whatever way they see fit. They very often enjoy using the digital clocks on captured people. It took the MEG a very long time and a lot of failed attempts and lost lives to finally set up a successful outpost with proper defense. The many minor communities within the area often pose an extreme threat to the MEG or anyone else who enters the level. You can find large speed boats on islands throughout the level, but many have been stolen by the MEG or the other minor groups that were previously mentioned. The MEG has outpowered the smaller, weaker groups, but many have weaponized the clocks and used them against the MEG. Nobody should be trusted on this level, even the MEG. The MEG could mistake you as an enemy and swiftly attack you with one of the watches. The native groups are also extremely likely to attack you for sport. Attempting to establish contact or treaties with these groups has proven impossible. As a result, the MEG has no idea where these people came from or how they arrived here. Many of them do not speak any known language as well, and could have origins that are beyond anything the MEG currently understands. Analog clocks seem to be the only way to get to the final discovered stable layer, which is known as Level 44. Level 44 missing all text. The looming skyscrapers of Level 44, captured from the river that cuts between the two sides of the city. Level 44 is the last known stable subsections within TH3SH4DYGR3Y. The only known way to go this deep into the level is by touching an analog clock on level 33. If one successfully makes the trip into level 44, they will fall through the reality of the level and splash into the river seen in the picture. This river runs through the whole area, and is presumed to be infinite along with the level itself. The MEG has taken samples and proven that the water is safe to touch, but will likely cause severe vomiting and diarrhea if consumed. The river is surrounded on both sides by dangerous and skyscrapers that have unstable reality in a similar fashion to 1-1. The design of the city looks extremely similar to level 11, but with a little bit more of a Baroque style. The buildings, also like level 11, are typically very glitchy and sometimes can be found defying the laws of physics. For example, some buildings are upside down, floating, or even clipped inside of each other. The skyscrapers are all locked, but can easily be broken into. This is not recommended, as every building is extremely infested with dangerous entities, such as smilers and skin stealers. The streets are also filled with armed facelings which have weapons like knives, guns, chainsaws, machetes, stun guns, and so forth. If you get too close, many of them will often attack by pushing their victim onto a wall and mugging them without saying a word. They are usually seen in dark clothing such as black jackets, jeans, and a black beanie. The facelings will often non-verbally threaten their victim with a knife and wave their hands signifying to hand over any valuables. Trying to fight back will result in more facelings becoming hostile and attack you until you stop moving, or hand over any sort of money, weapons, or supplies. They seem to favor almond water for some strange reason. Handing this to them will cause them to be docile towards anyone for 1 hour, until eventually reverting back to being hostile. They seem to accept anything of value, even sentimental value. One traveler documented having already lost all of his supplies and valuables, and had nothing left, so when one mugged him again, he gave the faceling his shirt. The faceling put it on, and left. Facelings infest this level, making muggings extremely common. Most people end up getting robbed until they are naked and have no resources, and are then killed when found with nothing. The mangled also roam this level, but unlike level 9 where they are very rare, they are extremely common in this place. It is guaranteed that one will see several of them as soon as they enter the level, especially since they tower over the skyscrapers. They walk around the level looking for humans to stomp on, and if one of them sees one, it is likely they will be instantly killed. The facelings and mangled are not the only danger in this level either. The level often has severe environmental conditions, such as rapidly changing temperatures, which sometimes reach lethal points. Natural disasters also occur often, such as blizzards, acid rain, tornadoes, and many other things of that sort. The entire level is overcast by thick gray clouds, making the level extremely dark, which is further amplified by the grayscale effect. Currently, there is no known way to escape level 4-4 on purpose. The only way is to try to accidentally no-clip through the ground into the final, heavily unexplored sections of the level. However, due to RGSO, dying on this layer is considered a much better fate than what lies beyond. L0STH0P3 L0STH0P3 is when the 5 to bill 1 tie of TH3SH4DYGR3Y disappears. The level 1's extremely UND0COM3 ented and unstable. L0STH0P3 is nearly impossible to survive or 3-scape. Going into this level means all hope you had will be drained from you. YY0UW0ULDW1LL1NGLYC0M3T0TH15H3LL is Y0UR0WND3LU510N. TH3L3V3LST3RR41N15 0NLYD3SCR1B3D45W0BBLY. AOYAFIA-ASIAVIA-RGSOA AOYAFIA-ASIAVIA-RGSO TH3W4LL5W0BBL3F4RW0R53TH4N in 10N3 8UT4R35T1LLS0L1D AOYAFIA-ASIAVIA-RGSOA 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 AOYAFIA-ASIAVIA-RGSO AOYAFIA-ASIAVIA-RGSOA AOYAFIA-ASIAVIA-RGSO TH340M51NY0UR80DYW1LL83R1PP3DFR0MY0URB0DY Y0U1LLY34RNF0RTH3M3RCYTH4015D34THL1K31H4V3D0N3F0RM1LL3N14